Welcome to Man Cave Insider. I'm Dennis. Thank you for joining me. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see past and future videos. This is my man cave. This room is filled with things I've collected my entire life. These are the stories behind them. And today, we're going to be taking a look at Duran Duran's 9th studio album, Medazzaland, which is celebrating its 25th anniversary with this special double vinyl release, as well as taking a look at other Duran Duran related releases from this time period. Without a doubt, the popularity of Duran Duran is bigger than ever. They commemorated their 40th anniversary with the release of the album Future Past. They also released the concert film A Hollywood High and have recently been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In addition to all of that, they are celebrating the 25th anniversary of their 9th studio album, Medazzaland, with this release. The band was based in London while recording this album, and John Taylor was now living permanently in Los Angeles, and he made the difficult decision to leave the band in the middle of recording. With Taylor leaving the band, Duran Duran was once again a trio with Simon Le Bon, Nick Rhodes, and Warren Cucurullo. Taylor now turned his focus to other interests, such as a solo career and tour, playing in the band The Neurotic Outsiders, and he even turned to acting, appearing in films such as Sugartown and The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. In March of 1997, Duran Duran released the single and video for Out of My Mind, which appeared on the soundtrack for the film The Saint, starring Val Kilmer. This made perfect sense if you look at the history of the band. I'll explain. The Saint is based on a television show of the same name starring Roger Moore, who of course played James Bond. Roger Moore's last film as James Bond was 1985's A View to a Kill, which featured the title track recorded by Duran Duran. The title Medazzaland is taken from the drug Medazzaland, which was given to Simon Le Bon when he went to visit a dentist. The song Medazzaland is the only song in the history of Duran Duran to feature keyboardist Nick Rhodes on lead vocals. It was more of a spoken word vocal, and it served as the opening song on the 1997 tour. Other notable songs on the album include So Long Suicide, written about Kurt Cobain, Buried in the Sand, which was about the departure of John Taylor. Michael, You've Got a Lot to Answer For was written about Simon Le Bon's good friend Michael Hutchence of INXS. The second single from the album, Electric Barbarella, is inspired by the film where Duran Duran took its name. This also has the distinction of being the first song available for purchase on a digital download. I also love the songs Who Do You Think You Are and Big Bang Generation. Medazzaland was released in October of 1997, and the album reached number 58 on the Billboard Top 200 album charts. The single Electric Barbarella peaked at number 52 on the Top 100. Initially, the album was only released in North America, Latin America, and Japan, and because of the poor sales, it was not released in Europe until the digital release in 2008. This also served as the last album Duran Duran would record with Capitol and EMI, the labels they had been with since the band was formed. In addition to the release of this album, I also have several other releases that coincide with this period of the band. So let's go ahead and take a look at Medazzaland on vinyl and other releases. So this is the new 25th anniversary vinyl release of Medazzaland. But before we take a look at it, I want to look at some other releases associated with this time period. This is the original CD release from 1997. And for the first time, it featured the lineup of Simon Le Bon, Warren Cucurullo, and Nick Rhodes. And it comes in this pink backing. There's a lot of interesting artwork as well, which is also duplicated in the album version. So we'll take a look at that in a second. This is the CD single of Electric Barbarella. It features the album version, 2 remixes, a remix of Out of My Mind, and the unreleased track Sinner and Saint. This is also an enhanced CD. So when you put it in your disk drive on your computer, it would play the director's cut of the music video of Electric Barbarella. To coincide with the release of Medazzaland is the first ever Duran Duran tribute album from Mojo Records. This features 15 classic Duran tracks from such artists of that era as the Deftones, Goldfinger, Less Than Jake, and Jimmy Eat World. The album is not available digitally, but there are copies from it available on eBay. Next up is John Taylor's first solo album, Feelings Are Good and Other Lies. This was initially available in 1995 through mail-in only, but in 1997 it got a wide release. Taylor released a video for the title track, Feelings Are Good, and it's got a very heavy rock feel to it. And if you get a chance to get your hands on this album, it's definitely worth it. It's very different from Duran Duran. It's very different from the Power Station, and that's what I like about this album. And this is a vinyl release of a live album from this tour. It's called Thanksgiving Live, the Ultra Chrome Latex and Steel Tour. This was originally released digitally in 2018, and last year it got this vinyl release. I saw the band on this tour probably about 2 weeks after this was recorded when I was living in Los Angeles. It featured Wes Waymiller on bass guitar and Steve Alexander on drums, in addition to Simon Le Bon, Warren Cucurullo, and Nick Rhodes. It's got a lot of great songs from the album Medazzaland, and it also features several songs that the band had not performed live in quite some time, such as Secret October, Friends of Mine, Anyone Out There, and Careless Memories. It was a great show, and it's a great way to commemorate this tour. This is a double vinyl release, and there was only 1,000 of these made. Disc 1 comes in a chrome color. Disc 2 comes in clear see-through vinyl. And finally, we have the 25th anniversary release of Medazzaland appearing on vinyl for the very first time. Front and the back are similar to the CD, and this has a gatefold with artwork from the release. So this is the booklet that comes with the album. It is the same booklet that came with the CD version, but it looks much better in this larger format with glossier paper. This is a really interesting album. It's very electronic, it's very industrial. Some of the vocals that Simon has in it are probably some of the strongest that the band had to date, and there's a lot of really interesting things. One thing I noticed between the CD and the vinyl is this page. The CD has a picture of the lineup of Duran Duran with John Taylor in it. Like I said, he appeared in 4 tracks on the album and co-wrote 3 of them before leaving the band, and that's replaced by this picture of Simon, Warren, and Nick. Other than that, it's the same exact booklet that came with the CD. So it comes with 2 vinyls, both in pink. Each side features 3 songs at 45 RPM, and it has the entire album as it was released in 1997. It doesn't have any bonus tracks, but they did release the track Ball and Chain digitally from this era. That is it for our look at the 25th anniversary release of Duran Duran's Medazzaland. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we look forward to seeing you next time.